Hello and welcome to Whiskey Bandit Reviews. I'm Eric. Can you get a good bottle of bourbon for $30 or under? I say yes. Let's drink on that. Okay, so we had a couple of parameters for things that we're going to look at. It's going to be $30 or under, and I might need a little exception on one of them, but we're going to keep you at $30 or under, and I'm going to prove to you that you can get these bourbons for $30 or under. So, first up on our list is Buffalo Trace, their flagship bourbon, 90 proof, Frankfort, Kentucky. Now, all of these are going to be $30 for a 750 ml. So your standard size bourbon bottle. So again, Buffalo Trace Distillery, that mash bill one that produces the Eagle Rare, the E.H. Taylor, the Stags that we're all chasing and waiting in line for at stores, and people are buying them up and selling them for more than double of what they paid for them sometimes. So Buffalo Trace, good bourbon, under $30. At least it was for me. You tell me how much it is where you're at. E.H. Taylor and the Eagle Rare, they kind of are the ones that kind of steal the show. But Buffalo Trace, just their Buffalo Trace bourbon's great. No age statement on this one. 90 proof. So just kind of really freshness. So kind of like fruity, think apple. Just kind of some of those notes that you get from it. That for the nose, and then the palate, kind of that vanilla caramel kind of stuff you're looking for. And for $30, you get all of that. Now, is it going to blow you away like some of the higher end stuff is? But no, that's going to be the standard kind of in this $30 range. Good bourbon, and you can get a lot worse for a lot more money. So on the Buffalo Trace, you can pick that up for around $25, $25 to $30. And you'll see that in some of my footage here. Next up for us, we are going to move away from the Buffalo Trace, and we're going to go with one of my favorite distilleries, Four Roses. Four Roses small batch. All right, so the Four Roses, it's that mixture of the, what is that? They have the 10 different recipes that they make. So they're going to have the 5 strands, the 2 mash bills. They come up with those 10 recipes, and they use 4 of those recipes together to make a small batch. Comes from about 250 barrels, I think they said is what they use. I think they have noted it to be anywhere from 6 to 7 years old for the most of them. Occasionally they'll mix in an 8-year-old. So each small batch is going to taste a little bit different, but they're pretty standard across the board as far as flavors that you're going to get. You're going to get the creaminess from this one. It's going to have like that fruity kind of cherry vibe going on. Me and Josh really enjoyed the small batch select, the single barrel as well. Great products from Four Roses. They don't have a lot of stuff, but what they have is just really good. And for this, I think I found it just under $30. It's $29.99. Now, a couple of the places I went were a little bit more. It may be more where you're at, but I got it for $29.99. So I can show you that. That came from Kroger. So was excited to find that for that price. So where are you going to go find a good bottle of bourbon for $30 or roundabout? Walmart. Okay, so here we are at Walmart. You see the Buffalo Trace there in front of me. We go on down to the Four Roses small batch. Pay attention. You might see a hint of what else is to come. All right, next up on the list is Woodford Reserve. You got to give me some lenience here because I've got the big bottle, not the 750 ml, because that one's empty. But we still got this one left over. You saw it in a previous video that Josh and I did. Still working on it. But you can get this thing for around $30. It's normally $30 and some change. I think I saw it today for $31, so you got to give me credit on that one. Still close to $30, but we'll make up for it elsewhere. So Woodford Reserve, great bourbon. We've talked about it a lot on here before. That rye base, as you can see, everything that I've picked out so far has been rye based. But again, here it is again. So great stuff. You know what to expect from it. It's got that spice, those caramel, oaky undertones. Off the nose, I get a lot of banana. And that's something that anytime I open this, I smell it. So I always like to note that on the Woodford Reserve. You tell me what you think of it. Would it be in your top 5? Do I get credit for it for being $30 or under? I think I should. So, Woodford Reserve. All right, next up, to make up for that being slightly over $30, I'm going to hit you with the Evan Williams White Label, the Bonded Bond, coming in at 100 proof. This is great stuff. This isn't your black label. This isn't the, oh yeah, that's the cheap bourbon. Yeah, it's cheap. I think this one I paid around $17 for. I'll show you that from the store as well. This is one that I actually sneak into some decanters around the house. So when people come over and they're like, oh, you want to pour me a glass of something? I was like, yeah, I got something for you. And pour that out of the decanter and sit them out in this bottle, and people love it. They're like, oh, what is that? For $17, you will not find a better bourbon. Also, 100 proof. It's above all the other bourbons that we've talked about so far. And you're going to get a lot more flavor profile from this than you may think. So, Evan Williams, White Label. What do you think about that? So, can I find that fancy White Label stuff at Walmart too? Yeah. Or maybe your local grocery store like Kroger for us. And if you're wanting to keep that $30 value, you can get the 1.75 liter. All right, and finally, our 5th pick for $30 or under. I'm coming with you with the Old Grandad 114. Now, since I gave you such a good deal on that Evan Williams White Label being $17, you're gonna have to entertain me again. This was just slightly over $30 at like $31. So I'm counting this as $30 or less. What do you guys think of it? Made by the Jim Beam Distillery. Great stuff. But for 114 proof at around about $30, that's going to be the highest thing that I know of that I can find. And as Josh and I have discussed before, which we got into it with the Evan Williams, and then now this, which is even another step up, Josh and I love the high proof stuff. So it stays true here again in my top 5 of around $30. So yeah, Old Granddad 114. Have you had it before? Do you think it should be in a top 5 for $30 bourbons? I think so, and mostly just for the proof alone, but still a good bourbon. So tell me what you guys think. I'm going to show you some additional film of me finding this in the store. Now this one, a guy in front of me actually grabbed the last bottle as I walked up to get it, which I probably wouldn't have got anyway, but I wanted to film that it was there. Kroger and Walmart did not have it, but the private liquor store that I went to did, and a guy literally grabbed it right in front of me. So 114 proof for 750 mils, $30. I like it. What do you think? Okay, show me where you can get 114 proof bourbon for $30. Stand by. So like this place, a privately owned liquor store. If you check it out, it used to be a Blockbuster Video. I worked here as a teenager. Here you'll find premium bottles and the bottles we're talking about today. Just know those premium bottles are going to be at a premium price, but not the OGD. All right, so there you have it from my top 5 of bourbons, $30 or under, or around $30. What's in your list? Do you think that mine's okay? What would you take out? What would you add? Now, I do have some honorable mentions. If I truly was going to keep it at $30 or under, I was going to go with Bullet Frontier bourbon. And then also the small batch by Elijah Craig. So I had those two sitting out. I was going to do a true under $30 video, but I had to get the 114 Old Grandad in there. And then for $1 more, I think I would take the Woodford Reserve over both of the Bullet and the Elijah Craig. Maybe you wouldn't, but I'm pretty fond of Woodford, so that's why I snuck that one in there too. So what do you guys think? What's in your top 5? Let us know in the comments.